68 years ago, almost 20 years before Hawaii became a state, the pink Royal Hawaiian Hotel stood lonesome on Waikiki Beach. It was time before computers, cell phones, digital televisions, jet airliners. In 1941, radio was king. The newfangled source of news and entertainment for our nation. Millions enjoyed radio programs like Fibber, McGee, and Molly, The Shadow, The Great Gildersleeve, and Inner Sanctum. Edward R. Murrow was becoming the forefather of broadcast journalism. It was an era of good times for most as the nation recovered from an economic depression. To many people, it was the time of their young lives. In a flash, those times were gone, along with thousands of lives as Pearl Harbor was attacked. The attack sank 4 battleships and damaged 4 more. The Japanese also sank or damaged 3 cruisers, 3 destroyers, and 1 mine layer. Destroyed 180 aircraft and caused personnel losses of 2,402. December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy. As President Franklin Delano Roosevelt told an anxious nation of the attack, words that most Americans heard through scratchy radio speakers. For this act of aggression brought America into the Second World War. By infamy, FDR meant public reproach, shameful, criminal, and outrageous. Today, many may not remember Pearl Harbor. For too many years, the memory of December 7, 1941 has been slipping from memory. It's important to America that we remember our history, the high points and the low points. Pearl Harbor was certainly one of our low points. We've come a long way as a nation and as a people since December 7, 1941, from scratchy sounding radio to high-definition digital television. Pictures and sounds from humans on the moon, from railroads to airlines as a means of business travel, from dirt roads and U.S. highways to interstates, and to automobiles that go faster, last longer, and are safer to drive. Amid all the technological changes, it is to those of us gathered here today to keep alive the tragic lesson of Pearl Harbor. That is the challenge. America was not secure on December 7, 1941. America was not secure on September 11, 2001, when we suffered another terrible attack on our homeland. I wish I could say with certainty that our 92,000 miles of coastline and our borders are secure today. These past attacks must serve as stark reminders that as citizens of this great land of freedom, we all too often forget the lessons of history. That is why we gather to remember it. We remember those who made the supreme sacrifice on December 7, 1941, taken in the prime of their lives by the all-consuming fires, explosions, and strafing attacks. To rain down from a brilliant sun of what had started as a peaceful Sunday morning in Hawaii. We know that remembering that day is important to us and to the future of our nation. This is not a pleasant anniversary, yet the bond that joins men and women in uniform draws us to such ceremonies because it is our duty to help the young Americans understand the terrible price our nation once paid for lack of vigilance. On this anniversary, we always recall those who lost their lives in the sneak attack. Today, I ask that we also remember and salute those who survived that attack. Many are here today. But the memory of December 7th must remain etched forever in the minds of succeeding generations. Coupled with the images of September 11, they paint an unforgettable collage of the price attached to the lack of military preparedness. Remember, Pearl Harbor must always be the symbol of the consequences of underestimating the threats to peace and world stability. December 7th was a terrible lesson. For us to fulfill that obligation, the bond formed by our common experiences in uniform requires that we never allow this day to fade from the memory of our young citizens. You and I pay no finer tribute to those whom we remember on this day than to ensure that the nation for which they sacrificed remains free and strong. Strong enough to preserve its freedoms, no matter what the future holds. It is a lesson worthy of retelling over generations. It is a lesson that we forgot. Because we forgot, we allowed history to repeat itself. December 7th is a lesson for all ages, over the ages. And that is why we're here today. I will give the last word today to a man who was born just a few blocks from here. He was a life member of the American Legion. He was a 5-star general. He was a supreme Allied commander of all the forces in the Pacific. General Douglas MacArthur. He said these words from the deck of the USS Missouri during the Japanese surrender ceremonies as the Missouri was anchored in Tokyo Bay. General MacArthur said, "It is my earnest hope, and indeed the hope of all mankind, that from this solemn occasion a better world shall emerge out of the blood and carnage of the past. A world dedicated to the dignity of man and the fulfillment of his most cherished wish for freedom, tolerance, and justice." Thank all of you for your service. Thank you for being here to observe the solemn